Good morning. Today we are going to continue with our next category of integrals, which is integration using trigonometric identities. Now, last year in class 11, we had done a long series of trigonometric identities. A few of them are sine squared x plus cos squared x is 1, sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x, cos 2x can be written in three forms. One is 2 cos squared x minus 1, one is 1 minus 2 sine squared x, and the third one is cos squared x minus sine squared x. Then we have sine 3x as 3 sine x minus 4 sine cube x, cos 3x as 4 cos cube x minus 3 cos x, and similarly we had the results of the sum or difference of two cos functions, which can be written. The intermediate steps of them were four results. One is 2 cos x cos y is equal to cos x plus y plus cos x minus y. That is, the product of two cos functions can be written as the sum of two cos functions. Product of two sine functions can be written as the difference of two sine cos functions. Product of one sine and one cos, where x is greater than y, means the sine acts on a bigger angle as compared to cos, can be written as sum of two sine functions. And the product of one sine and one cos, where the cos acts on a bigger angle as compared to sine, can be written as difference of two sine functions. So this is a list of some of the identities which we had done in class 11. Now, using them we are going to do the integrals. The integrals get simplified to a stage where we can easily solve them. So let's see how. Now suppose let's start with exercise 7.3. Now question number 1 says integral of sine squared 2x plus 5 into dx. Okay, so it's a function of a function of a function. Okay, so what we can do is either you can keep on substituting it, or but suppose we substitute sine of 2x plus 5 as d. We don't have its derivative over here, so that substitution method is not very useful here. Instead, we can write here using this result that sine squared can be written in terms of cos 2x. Now we know that sine squared x is equal to 1 minus cos 2x upon 2. Using this result, cos 2x is 1 minus 2 sine squared x. So sine squared x becomes 1 minus cos 2x upon 2. Using this result, what do we get? We call this I will be equal to, in place of sine squared, I'll write 1 minus cos 2x plus 5 whole upon 2 dx. Now this is a form which we know how to handle using substitution. So what do we get? Half comes outside and we are left with 1 minus cos 4x plus 10 into dx, and then simply find the integral using substitution. So what do we get? Half of integral of 1 is x minus half of integral of cos is sine of 4x plus 10 upon, using the chain rule, what do we get? Integral of this upon the coefficient of x, which is 4. Or this step can be brought about by using substitution, that is, you put 4x plus 10 equal to t, 4 dx is dt, and then integral of cos 4x plus 10 dx becomes equal to integral of 4 cos t upon 4 into dt, which is sine t upon 4. Replacing t in terms of x, we get sine of 4x plus t whole upon 4, which is what we have got here, plus c. And so the answer is half of x minus 1 upon 8 sine 4x plus 10 plus a constant. Is it okay? So whenever we have a square term in place of square of some trigonometric function like sine or cos, we'll make use of the result of cos 2x. We know that cos 2x plus 1 is equal to 2 cos squared x, and 1 minus cos 2x is equal to 2 sine squared x. So using these results we can easily simplify this. Now again, question of the next kind, that is question number 2. If we see, it says that I is equal to integral of sine 3x cos 4x dx. Now we have done a similar question in using substitution, but in that case product of one sine and one cos could be solved by substituting, but provided the angle on which the sine and cos act are same. Here what we observe is sine acts on 3x whereas cos acts on 4x. So if I put any one of them as t, the other one doesn't get absorbed in dt. So here substitution cannot be used. So in such a case we make use of this trigonometric identity, that is product of one sine and one cos is equal to either sum or difference of two sine functions. Okay, now here again there is a thing that in case the angle on which sine acts is smaller than that of cos, then we have a minus sign, whereas the angle on which sine acts is bigger than that of cos, we have a plus sign here. This also you need not worry, because no matter which result you take, automatically the minus sign will take care of itself. Okay, so now here what do we have? Clearly the angle of this is smaller than this, so it should be, according to that result, we should have half of sine of 3x plus 4x, that is 7x, minus sine of 3x minus minus sine of 3x minus 4x. Now here what do we have? Sine x into sine y. Suppose you are taking the angle of on which sine acts as x, then it is sine x plus y plus sine x minus y. Even though this x is bigger than y, and over here our angle over here is smaller. So suppose I use that formula. So sine 7x plus sine difference of these two is minus x whole into dx. So this minus automatically comes out and this result comes in this shape. So we need not worry about what result we are using, irrespective of what angle sine and cos acts on. We can simply use the first result, that is 2 sine x cos y is equal to sine x plus y plus sine x minus y, and the minus sign takes care of itself. So what do we get? Now this result comes out to be, this will be minus of cos 7x over 7, and this is already minus. Okay, so minus comes outside, and minus of cos x is the result. So what do we get? Plus a constant. So the answer is 1 upon 14 cos 7x plus of 1 upon 2 cos x plus a constant. Okay, so now suppose we take the third question. Okay, now in the third question we have cos 2x cos 4x cos 6x is a product of three cosine functions. So as we had done questions in class 11, same way we'll do this way also. So first thing which we'll do is we will write them in descending order of angles. Okay, now once that is done, then we combine the extreme angle terms together, and the middle one is taken separately. So it comes out to be cos 6x cos 2x cos 4x dx. Okay, now the product of two cosine functions is half of sum of the cosine functions, that is cos of 6x plus 2x, which is 8x, plus cos of 6x minus 2x is 4x, and this gets carried down as it is. Now we open the brackets and we get cos 8x cos 4x plus cos squared 4x whole into dx. Now again applying the identity. So what do we get? We get the previous identity apply when it is applied here, we get another half of cos of the sum of these two, which is 12x, plus the difference of these two, which is 4x, plus cos squared can be written as 1 plus cos 2x, means cos 2 times the angle, which is 8x upon 2 whole into dx. So when you write it properly, collecting like terms together, what do we get? 1 upon 4. The highest, or writing them in order, what do we get? Cos 12x. Then we write, see, 1 upon 2 we have taken common, it has become 1 by 4. So cos 12x, this is done. Then cos 8x, this is done. Then cos 4x, this is done. And now we are left with 1. See, putting a tick mark ensures that we have not left out any term, okay, into dx. Now apply the integral. It comes out to be, now we apply the integral. Integral of cos is sine. So sine 12x upon the coefficient of x is 12 plus sine sine 8x upon the coefficient of x is 8 plus sine 4x upon coefficient of x is 4 and plus x plus a constant, and this gives us 1 upon 48 times sine 12x plus 1 upon 32 times sine 8x plus 1 upon 16 times sine 4x plus 1 upon 4x plus a constant, which is the answer. So with the use of trigonometric identities, we could solve a complicated integral in a very easy manner. Now let's come to question number 4. Now question number 4 says sine cube 2x plus 1 dx. It's a cube function. There are two ways of doing this. Okay, first way is using the trigonometric identity. We know that sine 3x is equal to 3 sine x minus 4 sine cube x. And so from here I can write 4 sine cube x is equal to 3 sine x minus sine 3x. Now you have to be careful. We know how to find the integral of sine of multiple angles, but sine or cos of multiple angles, but we don't know how to find the integral of sine or cos of cubes or squares or fourth powers, some powers of x. Okay, so what we have to do is, whenever we have some cube function or square function or fourth power function of some trigonometric, we have to convert it to multiple of angles. Okay, now so here what we do is, so sine cube x gets converted to 3 sine x minus sine 3x upon 4. And now you do the question in a simple manner. So what do we get? I is equal to 1 upon 4 3 sine. Now in place of x we have 2x plus 1 minus sine 3 times 2x plus 1 whole upon 4 I have already taken outside, and whole into dx. This is the integral which can be solved using substitution. I am writing the answer directly using chain rule. So what do I get? 3 times integral of sine is minus cos of the same angle upon the coefficient of x over here is 2 minus. Now integral of sine is minus cos, so minus of minus becomes plus cos of 3 times 2x plus 1 whole upon the angle coefficient of x is 3 into 2, which is 6, and plus a constant, which is the answer. Now the same question can be done in another manner. So see, as we have already seen earlier also, there are various trigonometric identities which can be which can be used to solve a particular question, and accordingly we'll be getting different answers. So we can do, there are many methods, of more than one method of solving an integral. Okay, another way of doing it, and a much simpler way of doing it, is you can write it as sine squared 2x plus 1 into cos 2x plus, sorry, sines, 1 minute, I can be written as sine squared 2x plus 1 into sine 2x plus 1 whole into dx. Like sine cube, I have split into one sine function into the sine of the remaining power. So what do I get? This comes out to be, now this sine squared can be, we know that sine squared x is plus cos squared x is 1, and so sine squared x can be written as 1 minus cos squared 2x plus 1 into sine 2x plus 1 into dx. Now why have we done so? We have done so because we know that the derivative of cos 2x plus 1 is sine 2x plus 1. So we can make use of substitution and do the solution accordingly. So what do we get? Put cos 2x plus 1 as t, we get minus sine 2x plus 1 into 2 into dx is dt, and you simply substitute over here. What do we get? Integral of, we get 1 is as it is minus t squared into dt upon minus 2, and whose integral we know? Minus half t plus half t cube by 3 plus c, and you substitute back the value of t in terms of x, we get minus half. In place of t, I'll write, we have assumed cos 2x plus 1 as t, so I get cos 2x plus 1 plus 1 upon 6. Now here we have cos cube 2x plus 1 plus c, which is the answer. As we can clearly see, this form of result and this form of result are two entirely different things, but still both are solutions to the same question. So we don't have to get disturbed as to why are we getting different answers. Okay, so either ways you can use the result and solve it. Both are acceptable, both are correct. Okay, but suppose it's a proof question, like suppose they say that prove that this is equal to this result, then you have to make use of this result. So you should be very clear as to what kind of result you will get when you are using which identity. Suppose you are using this method, you will get something in powers, whereas when you use this result, you are getting something in multiples of x. So accordingly you act, that whatever result is expected of you, you act accordingly. Okay, now similarly you can try out the other questions. Like if I do the fifth one. Fifth one is a similar question. I is equal to sine cube x cos cube x dx. Here also I could have used other results also, or here it is very simple. We have now again there are, here we can do simply put one of this as t, the other comes out to be dt, but that also doesn't come directly. What we can do is, first method and the preferred method is that you write I is equal to sine cube x. Okay, now if you put sine x as t, here if we put sine x as t, I get cos x dx as dt, but I have here cos cube x. So what I can do is, I can write I as sine cube x cos squared x cos x dx, and this comes out to be sine cube x, and in place of cos squared x I can write 1 minus sine squared x into cos x dx. At this stage we use this substitution, that sine x as t, and then we get this gets reduced to t cube 1 minus t squared, and this is dt, and this we know how to solve. T cube minus t raised to power 5 into dt, which gets solved to t 4 over 4 minus t 6 over 6 plus a constant. Replace back t in terms of x, we get sine raised to the power 4x over 4 minus sine raised to power of 6x over 6 plus c. This is one of the methods. Another method could be, since there is same sine and cos, like sine and cos acts on the same angle, so what we can do is we can write it as I is equal to sine x cos x whole cube dx, and then you write it as half of sine 2x whole cube dx, and then you deal with in whatever manner. Either you make use of the result for sine 3x or sine 3 theta keeping 2x as theta, or you can convert it further into sine and cos at this stage and then do the needful. So there are so many results, and accordingly you will get so many solutions. So if suppose I want to convert it to, see, obviously we have seen in the previous question, when you convert cube of sine in terms of sine 3 of that angle, it is not a very simple straightforward. You have to remember that result. Okay, so here suppose I convert this to sine and cos. So what do I get? 1 upon 8 is already there, and I get it here as sine cube x dx, which can be written as sine squared 2x sine 2x dx. This can be written as 1 upon 8, and in place of sine squared I can write 1 minus cos squared 2x. Reason being, if I put cos 2x as t, sine 2x dx will be dt. Now put cos 2x as t. Now here we won't put 1 minus cos 2x as t, otherwise because then the square will create a problem and we will not get this absorbed in the dx. So here we will put only this cos 2x as t. So what do we get? Minus 2 sine 2x dx as dt, and I comes out to be 1 upon 8 is as it is there, 1 minus t squared is as it is, sine 2x dx gets absorbed as in dt over minus 2, and now you solve it. So what do we get? Minus 16. Now integral of 1 is t minus integral of t squared is t cube by 3 plus a constant. Now you substitute back. So what do we get? Minus 1 upon 16. T is cos 2x. Minus of minus is plus 1 over 48. T is cos 2x whole cube plus c. So if you see, we have solved this question in this manner. We have got result in terms of cos 2x and cube of cos 2x. When we had done it in the previous method, we could solve this question, but the answer was entirely different from what we get here. But still we accept both the results are absolutely correct and will be accepted. Unless and until, I again repeat, it's a proof question. Suppose it's a proof question and they expect you to bring it to a certain form. Suppose this form, you will use this method. Suppose this form, you will use this method. Is this thing all right? Okay, so now let us proceed. Similarly, question number 6. Question number 6 can be done very easily on the same lines as question number 3, because 6 is what? Product of 3 sine functions. So what do we do? Exactly as question number 6, we will write it as product of 3 sine functions in the descending order, and then we combine these two and keep this separately, apply the results and do the needful. Can be solved as question number 3. Now same way question number 7 also can be done. Question number 8, if we see, Okay, now in question number 8, what we have is 1 minus cos x over 1 plus cos x into dx. Now here again, there are more than one ways of doing it. One way of doing it, see, as there are so many trigonometric identity, so are the number of ways of doing a particular question. Now 1 minus cos x can be replaced with 2 sine squared x by 2, and here it can be replaced with 2 cos squared x by 2 dx. This gets cancelled. I becomes equal to tan squared x by 2 dx. But as we know, we do not have the result for integral of tan squared, but we do have a result of integral of sec squared. So convert this to sec squared x. So sec squared x by 2 minus 1 dx, and now we can easily get the result as integral of sec squared dx x square minus integral of 1 dx. Now here, if you want, you can make use of substitution, or if you want, you can do it directly. So if I do it directly, what do I get? Integral of sec squared is tan of x by 2 whole upon the coefficient of x is 1 by 2 minus integral of this is x plus c. So I comes out to be 2 tan x by 2 minus x plus c. This is the first way. Or we could have done this as, I could be written as 1 minus cos x over 1 plus cos x into dx. In such a case, what we do is we multiply and divide by 1 minus cos x. So what do I get? 1 minus cos x whole square upon 1 minus cos x into 1 plus cos x. This is also another way of doing this question. So what we get is 1 minus cos x whole square, let me write it as it is, whole square upon, this comes out to be 1 minus cos squared x dx. 1 minus cos squared x dx is sine squared x. So what we get is 1 minus cos x whole square over sine squared x into dx. Now again, there are more than one ways of doing it. What we can do is, you can take this sign inside this bracket. So this becomes cosec x minus cot x whole square. So this becomes cosec x minus cot x whole square dx. To write cosec x minus cot x whole square dx, we can open it up and then do it as cosec x. So it becomes cosec squared x plus cot squared x minus 2 cosec x cot x dx. Okay, now you integrate. We know the integral of cosec squared x. We know the integral of cosec x cot x. But we don't know the integral of cot squared x, which can be written as cosec squared x minus 1 and whole into dx. Now we simply apply the integrals. Cosec squared x is minus cot x. Minus of cosec x cot x is cosec x, plus cosec squared x is minus cot x, and here we have minus 1 is minus x plus c. So the answer comes out to be minus 2 cot x minus cosec, no, this 1 minute, minus 2 cosec x cot x is plus 2 cosec x. So you get plus 2 cosec x minus x plus c is the answer. Now, as I was speaking about, there is another way of doing it. That is, you write it as, at that stage, 1 minus cos x whole square upon sine squared x can be written as also, what you do is, before instead of taking the sin x inside, what we do is we first evaluate this square. So what do we get? 1 minus 2 cos x plus cos squared x whole upon sine squared x integral. Now you split the numerator. So what do we get? Cosec squared x minus 2. Now cos over sine squared x is cosec x cot x plus cot squared x into dx. So if you compare, it is the same result as we had got here. So what we do is same step. Instead of opening, keeping this sign inside and then opening the square, or you first open the square and then divide by sine squared, you are getting the same steps, and so which can be solved in the same manner. Cosec squared x minus 2 cosec x cot x plus this becomes cosec squared x minus 1 whole into dx. Now you start applying the integral. This is minus of cot x, this is plus of this 2 is as it is, and then you get cosec x, and this is minus of cot x, this is minus x plus c, which gets combined to minus 2 cot x plus 2 cosec x minus x plus c. So in this manner we have seen that there are more than one ways of doing the same questions. You are allowed to do whichever question strikes you first, or whichever method strikes you first, or whichever method you are comfortable doing. The only in the case of proof questions you have to be careful that you have to come to that particular result only. Rest all questions, if it's only a solving questions, you can do in any manner. So in this manner you can try out the other questions also. Thank you.